Welcome back to Bull and Bear. You're on with Fox and Pops, and today we are looking at the market from October 20th through October 24th, 2025. Starting out with SPY, we had a 1.94% movement throughout the week. Definitely a week that felt like it was there's some downward pressure, but Friday was a clear gap up to end, and it looks like pre-market's going to follow the same. Similar story for the Qs, with 2.18% gain throughout the week overall, and it looks like starting to gap and break up as well.
Moving into some of the market leaders, we got NVDA, which was up about 1.6% for the week. And it looks like it's coming right into the pivot. Might be a good buy at this level right now. Next stock is Tesla. Tesla reported earnings on Thursday, gapped way down. Buyers came in, bought it all the way back up for a positive close. And then on Friday was a little bit of a sell-off. Still looks reasonable, still looks decent, and still looks like a potential buy at this point. One of the other things we've been looking into is the MAGS, which is up 2.38% for the week. The MAGS is called an ETF, which is the Magnificent Seven, which includes Tesla, NVIDIA, Microsoft, and all the big boys, including Apple. And this could be a good long-term play. All of the big guys should be reporting on their earnings shortly, and overall we believe that this is a good long-term hold and should do good in this earnings session. And then AMD is one of the ones we recently popped up. It's up 8.5% for the week, and it had a nice gap up on Friday, 7.6%, and it's looking pretty strong because it's in the same market as NVIDIA and competes very well with them. Maybe not as good as NVIDIA, but it's still up and coming. It's been making some pretty healthy moves over the past few weeks, and it's looking like a good buy also.
Moving on to kind of the meme of this week, right? So we had a lot of short interest in BYND, that's Beyond Meat. Technically up for the week, 238.44%, but it is ratcheting downward as kind of the trend from Wednesday on. Really on Wednesday had the biggest kind of float with basically a 75% swing and then kind of fallen out. So more than likely exit liquidity has kind of already occurred here. I do not think this looks actionable at all, but worth talking about just based on the sheer amount of movement. Stocks, speaking of stocks cooling down, Quantum cooled down over this past week, overall down 16.26%. However, with Thursday and Friday kind of finding what seems to have been its bottom and possibly getting recharged for its next run. Based on how the stock moves, that's kind of a common theme, so we may be entering a consolidation point here. As far as GLD, down 2.95% over the week. We talked about this one last week, that kind of the gold rush more than likely was over. It seemed to continue basically kind of through to Monday, and then for the rest of the week, basically kind of took a loss for the remainder. Overall,
there seems to be it seems to be a little bit of rotation now, maybe coming out of the quantums and possibly into defense and aerospace industry. Maybe robotics and solar seem to be some of the better trending sectors, and that's what we'll be looking and researching some of those this week.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely still in a raging bull market. Very clearly, right, with the gap up and kind of what we're seeing for pre-market, that looks like we're going to probably continue with kind of the run we were having Friday. It looks like there's still faith and confidence, and we're going to see some trend lines pull up. As always, every day is the opportunity of a lifetime. Don't waste it, and we will catch you next week.